This is one of our family's favorite bread recipes. I make this all the time. It's so easy to make. You literally put everything into a big bowl, mix it up. It's called a no-knead bread, so you don't really have to knead it very long. If you're a newbie with bread making, this is a great recipe to start with. Crusty on the outside, super soft on the inside. So I have some nice warm water. It's gonna go in the bowl. Into the water, I'm gonna add some active dry yeast, a little bit of olive oil, some salt, and flour, and that's it. Mix it up. So that's about it, just a few minutes, it's all done. I'm just gonna cover it with plastic wrap and set it aside to rise until it's double, and then we'll shape the loaf. Okay, perfect. It's draft free, it keeps it from drying out, and it creates kind of like a humid environment in the bowl, so it's the perfect way for the bread to rise. The bread has risen beautifully, so now it's time to shape it into a loaf. And I have a parchment paper here. I buy these really long ones from a restaurant supply store. So I just folded it in half. Then I'm gonna take some cornmeal right here and sprinkle it on the bottom. It's gonna give a nice crunch to the bottom of the bread. And I'm gonna set it to rise right there. So that's ready. And I'm going to get a little flour on the countertop and shape my bread. And it's super easy to do this. You don't have to knead it very long at all. Oh, it's so beautiful. Look at that. I love making bread. There's something so therapeutic about it. And then I'm gonna get more flour, sprinkle it on top. And then you just take the bread like this. You keep taking the edges, kind of like the petals of a flower, and folding it inward. And just keep doing that. Honestly, if you do it just like 4 times or so, it should be enough, but I like to make it nice and tight like this. And then flip it over. Then you just kind of do this. Shape it into a beautiful loaf. This is really, really easy. This dough is so nice to work with. And then I put a little bit more flour on top, you know, it's gonna give it that pretty bakery look. There. And then I'm just gonna set it right here on top of the cornmeal in the middle of the parchment paper. Just like that. I'm gonna move this over to my dining room table, and since I have it on the parchment paper, it's very easy to transfer. And a trick that I have is I take a really big bowl. Now make sure it's big because it's gonna rise. And I'm gonna take that big bowl, put it right on top of it. It's gonna double in size faster. It's not gonna dry out. I'm gonna wait for the bread to get nice and puffy again. While it's rising, I'm gonna preheat the oven to 500 degrees, screaming hot. And I'm also gonna put my Dutch oven in there to heat up at the same time that the oven is preheating. It's risen beautifully. I'm not gonna do anything fancy. I'm just gonna cut an X on top and transfer it right here. I actually feel the heat from the pot all the way over here. So I'm just gonna put it in there. Just like that. And cover it with the lid. Okay, let's get this into the oven. I lowered the oven heat to 425 and it's going to bake in the oven for about 25 minutes or so. Then I'm gonna uncover it, see what it looks like. Maybe it'll need another 5 minutes or so, but around 25 minutes is how long it takes in my oven.
Oh, look at that. How soft it is. You will? You gonna put some butter on it? Okay, let's put some butter on it for you.
Good? Can I try some?
This is so good.
Nothing like homemade bread, right? Here.
This is my slice right there.
Mama, put some ham on this.
You want some ham on it?
We'll do that.
You
I'll
want
get
some
it in a minute.
ham or jam?